Hello and welcome to Demian Allan's astrology channel. If you like the video, then press the like button and please become a subscriber. This video is for July 2022. So we're going to look at the astrological aspects, the planets that are dominating the skies, and what to expect over the coming 4 weeks. So I'm recording this on the 28th of June 2022, and the chart that you see in front of you is the chart of the 1st of July 2022, and already we can see perhaps some of the main players in terms of the planets and the aspects that are taking place. The sun, of course, is in Cancer at 9 degrees in Cancer. It starts off. We have Mercury at 22 degrees in Gemini. That is now well out of its shadow retrograde period. And it's still functioning really well because obviously it's in Gemini. We have Venus in Gemini as well. That's at 10 degrees. That brings out some interesting aspects in terms of relationships and how we relate to other people. Mars is at 27 degrees in Aries. So Mars is going to be an interesting planet this month because it's going to change signs and go into Taurus, which maybe, well, Mars is not too comfortable in Taurus. We've also got Jupiter in Aries, still moving forward. Saturn is retrograde in Aquarius, and that will be till mid-October 2022. We've got Uranus. Again, Uranus is moving forward, but that does go retrograde later in the month. That's at 17 degrees in Taurus. It starts. We've got Neptune. Neptune is in a Pisces, of course. That is retrograde, and that's at 25 degrees at the beginning of the month. And then finally, we've got Pluto, which is retrograde at 27 degrees in Capricorn. So we start off with five planets in fire, 4 in earth, 4 in air, and 3 in water. So there's quite a balance in terms of the elements that we have here. I think what's really kind of important here is the aspect of Venus and Mercury and Gemini. Remember, Mercury has not been able to function particularly well during its retrograde period that we had in particularly May. And Venus in Gemini is a combination that brings out a certain amount of duality in its energy here as well. But it can be quite nice for social events generally, and that's what we experienced recently. For us all on a collective note. What's fascinating is that we start off with the sun separating from a square with Jupiter, which is always kind of interesting. Jupiter obviously magnifies, and the sun's rays are sometimes a bit too energetic. So there's a bout of optimism as we go into 1st of July that comes in. But the outer planets are interesting because they're the ones that are retrograde. Uranus will go retrograde right at the end of the month on the 29th. Sorry, Uranus will not go retrograde. Jupiter will go retrograde around about the 29th of July. And that will remain in Aries, and then it will go back into Pisces in the next couple of months. Uranus continues to move forward. That goes retrograde at the end of August. What's really interesting is the Uranus is moving forward towards the North Node, the conjunction with the North Node, and opposing the South Node. Now, this is interesting because this comes in with the idea of the eclipses as well that we've experienced in the April and May time of this year in the polarity point of Taurus and Scorpio, and that will come back in sort of October, November time. And so for a lot of people who have particularly the fixed signs in their charts, the Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius, this is been having an effect on them. So changes seemingly out of your control keep coming up, and I think this is a really important aspect that continues to move and go on. And what we're experiencing for a lot of us is it's an unpredictable energy. So eclipses tend to work on a 6-month basis. So this all goes back to the eclipse energy that we had on the 30th of April and the 16th of May. And that will come back in October, November time. So it's a really kind of interesting aspect. And when you've got the North Node and the South Node affected by Uranus, which it is, it's, you know, it's only 4 degrees out, then you tend to find that things seem out of control. And again, this is emphasizing the fixed signs, the zodiac, which is kind of interesting in terms of what's kind of going on. Right, okay, if we move slightly, so the first part of the month I think is fairly quiet actually. What we're going to do is we're going to go into the second part of the month, really, from the 10th onwards, and begin to see what sort of changed in terms of the astrological features. So this is the 10th of July, and immediately we've got Mercury in Cancer. So Mercury goes into Cancer on the 5th of July, and that's a kind of an interesting aspect there, because Mercury is the planet of retail and buying and selling and commerce in general here, but that re-emphasizes the home kind of environment an awful lot. And more importantly, you've now got Mars in Taurus as well. Now Mars in Taurus is around about the 5th and the 6th. This is really kind of interesting because Mars in Taurus doesn't, you know, it's in detriment. It doesn't work really kind of well. And I think that if you're in a Mars profected year, you're going to really kind of feel this. I think July is an interesting month. I think the energy and the optimism and drive that maybe we had of things happening very, very quickly of Mars and Aries, particularly the last 2 months of May and June, things become a little bit stodgy, a little bit static, a little bit less action orientated. So we can get into a bit of a muddle. It can feel quite heavy, the energy. And again, if you've got strong fixed signs, Taurus, Leo, Scorpios, Aquarius in your chart, you're going to feel this particular energy here. Mars cannot function. You know, the old proverb about a bull in a china shop, it is very apt. You know, it's a build up of tension and then all of a sudden it just it explodes, and that's what you're going to kind of feel. So things on the collective that have been bubbling underneath the surface will suddenly become quite volcanic, you know. And the way that Mars, this is right until the 20th of August, we've got Mars going through Taurus. It becomes volcanic, and you know, what's going to happen is that towards the end of July, Mars, and the beginning of August, Mars is going to make a conjunction with Uranus. So as the month progresses, it's going to come closer and closer to making a conjunction with Uranus. So that's a big astrological kind of feature, because those two planets of Uranus and Mars are extremely, shall we say, unpredictable, erratic, direct, aggressive, and disruptive. So those are going to be elements that are going to play that in the sort of in the collective that's going to happen a lot. So that's a big thing that's sort of playing out here, you know, throughout the month, and that's going to be the sort of template of what we're going to be feeling, all of us, that kind of that energy that's going to be building up here an awful lot. You know, on the 20th of July, Mercury going to Leo, so again it emphasizes the fixed quality, and just before that on the 18th we've got Venus that will go into Cancer. So, you know, again, the fixed element is quite a big kind of feature here. In terms of the moons, particularly look out for, well, we've got a full moon on the 13th. That's at Capricorn at 21 degrees, around about 1938 GMT time. And so Capricorn Cancers will be particularly affected by that. Actually, Aries and Libra will as well. And then we got a new moon on the 28th of July. That's at 5 degrees in Leo. And that's at 18:55 GMT time. That's a kind of I like that new moon. I think it's kind of really kind of nice. However, it does, form a square aspect with Mars. So it's quite an energetic one, that one here. And that's the story of July, this kind of energy of the Mars not being able to function, feeling quite stodgy, explosive and volcanic. And if you look at the other planets, they made it a bit softer, but it's that real kind of energy of Mars that's going to be the dominating aspect to do with July 2022. Anyway, I hope you like that quick short video. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you for next month. Thanks for watching.